The Fantasy Consortium's Wars of the Old World.
Hello friends, Matthew here from Grey Army Gaming in lovely Lund, Sweden. For this episode of Wars of the Old World, we will be throwing down 2,000 points of the Wood Elves versus 2,000 points of the Ogre Kingdoms. Now, I wanted to treat this game as something of a test game for really two reasons. First, I wanted to make sure that the mechanics of this series works out well, that the aesthetics work, that everything kind of falls in place before we have guests join us in Playoteket here in Lund. Soon enough, we're going to have people traveling to Lund in order to film these bat reps with us, and I just wanted to make sure that everything worked out before people start committing to the journey and coming to visit us. Second of all, I've got two armies here that I have never played before. So we've got the Wood Elf army and the Ogre Kingdoms, and I've never actually played an entire bat rep with either of these armies. So what I've done here is I've constructed lists that are intentionally quite broad, that have a lot of different elements involved in them, so I can try out different parts of the armies and try to learn all the rules so that in future bat reps, I'll be able to use these armies against the guests that come in and visit us. So bear with me, I will probably make a lot of mistakes with each of these armies. If you catch anything that I haven't caught, please do leave a comment in the comments section below, and hopefully I can learn how to better play these armies and I won't make those same mistakes in the future. One interesting thing I should point out here is that I've decided not to have any BSBs, so we're going to be using the base leadership of each of these armies without any possibilities for rerolls. So that's a little different, a little bit exciting, and I wanted to try that out as well to see how that goes. Well, let's go ahead and take a closer look at each one of these armies and take a look at the board before we start rolling out for who gets the first turn. Here's the first army for today. We've got 2,000 points of the Ogre Kingdoms. Our army now is led by a Slaughtermaster in the middle here, and he has a Talisman of Preservation and a Dispel Scroll, and we rolled out for 4 spells for his level 4. We've got Bone Crusher, Bull Gorger, Toothcracker, and Brain Gobbler. To the right now, he's joined by a Firebelly, which is a level 1 wizard. He has the Burning Head from the Lore of Fire, and a Talisman of Endurance. To the left, we have a Hunter. For our core, we've got a unit of 6 bulls here with a banner, another unit of 6 bulls here, and we've got a unit of 8 iron guts with a banner, and over here, to make things fun, we've got a unit of 19 Gnoblers. For special now, we've got 4 lead belchers here, and we've got 2 saber tusks over here. And for our rare choices, we went with a giant and an Ironblaster. So there you have it once again, 2,000 points of the Ogre Kingdoms. And here now is the second army that we will have for today's battle, the Wood Elves. The Wood Elves will be led today by the Blade Lord in the middle, who has the Armor of Destiny. To the left of him we have a Spellweaver level 4 using the Lore of Life, and we rolled for Throne of Vines, Flesh to Stone, Awakening of the Wood, and the Dwellers Below. And for our hero to the right we have a Spellsinger level 1 from the Lore of Heavens, and we rolled for the Comet of Cassandora. For our core choices now, we have over here a unit of 15 Dryads. Joining them, we have a unit of Glade Guard, 12 of them, full command. And over here, a unit of 20 Glade Guard, once again, full command. For our special now, we've got 5 Deepwood Scouts here. And in addition, we have a unit of 6 Treekin and another unit of 6 Treekin. And finally, for our rare, we have a Great Eagle here, and we have a Tree Man over here. And just as with the Ogre Kingdoms, we are not taking a BSB for the Wood Elf army. We're just going to go straight after our natural leadership. So there you go, 2,000 points of the Wood Elves. Alright, and here's the battlefield we'll be playing on today. We've got a 4-foot by 6-foot battlefield set up with a little village on the side here, and a bunch of trees, and little sort of rock outcroppings. So this will be what we will be fighting on today, battle lines. So we've got our 2 armies already set up for deployment. So first off, you see we got the Ogre Kingdoms here, the Ironblaster, we've got our Iron Guts, our 2 units of Ogre Bulls, we've got our Gnoblers, and over here on the flank we've got our Giant Hunter. We're going to keep our Lead Belchers there to try and get some shooting off, and our other Saber Tusk there, facing off against the Wood Elves on the other side. And here we have our Wood Elf deployment. We've got our Glade Guard unit here with our Lord in it and our Spellsinger. Over here we have got another unit of our Glade Guard with our other Wizard. and a unit of treekin and some nice dryads there. On the other side, in the back, we've got some more treekin. We've got our eagle and our treeman hiding over in the back. And of course, we cannot forget over here on the corner, we have got our scouts set up here. 5 of them, 12 inches away. They're going to be doing some damage here on that Ironblaster. All right, let's roll off for who gets the first turn. The Wood Elves finished deploying first, so they get a +1 to their roll using the yellow dice. And no problem, the Wood Elves will begin. Here we go, turn 1, Wood Elves. Before we get started here in the movement, I should just mention that we put down this forest as part of the Wood Elf rule of the ambush from the world roots, and we've decided to make that an abysmal forest. So this unit now will be equipped with fear. And one more thing before we start moving here, we have the Arrow of Kumus, which allows us to shoot 1 arrow from our Blade Lord leader here, 36 inches, if we have a line of sight to our leader, and we do. So this is a strength 3 hit, automatically hits. Need a 6, so that's not good enough. All right, first thing here is let's go ahead and march our dryads up a total of 10 inches. Final position there, and let's have our treekin. We'll send them up and have them also march up there 10 inches. All right, the Glade Guard, I think we'll keep them there. We won't move them, and we'll go ahead and just move our treekin up to be flush with our other Glade Guard units so we don't block the line of sight for shooting. And there's their final position right there. All right, Great Eagle, we're going to send him flying over here, and we'll put him right on the side. And let's send our treekin. We'll send him up around here and bring him right there. Excuse me, our tree man. All right, Winds of Magic. Let's roll out 2 dice here. Ooh, that's a strong one. Let's see if we get any channels. No channels there. Any channels for the Ogres? No. So we have a total of 11 to 6. All right, let's set out their Spell Singer here. We will try to cast Throne of Vines. And let's do it on 2 dice. 6, 10 we got. And the Ogres know what's coming, so they will let that one go. Second, let's go ahead and try Dwellers Below. We'll go from our Spell Singer here, and we will run up to this unit here. Let's go ahead and throw 6 dice at it. Dwellers Below. And there we got it. And our Slaughtermaster here will go ahead and use the Dispel Scroll on that one. So that will go off and not successful. Let's do our last one here. Let's do the Comet with our other Mage over here. We need to show a 12. We've got 3 dice, a level 1 there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that does not go off. That will be the end of our magic phase. Alright, shooting phase. Let's go ahead and shoot from this unit of Glade Guard over here onto that unit of Iron Guts. We are at long range. We haven't moved, so normally hitting on 3s. Now we'll be hitting on 4s instead. And that's pretty decent. 1s, 2s, and 3s will be removed. Look at that. Perfect. And now we'll be hitting on 5, strength 3 versus toughness 4. And there's 1, 2, let's see. 2, 4, 6 hits. Heavy armor now, so we got a save on a 5+. So there's 1 save, 1, 2, 3. 1 guy comes out and 1 guy takes. So it's actually this guy will be removed, and then this guy will be down to 1 wound. All right, next let's run over here. These 12 Glade Guard will be shooting over onto this unit. We've got 12 shots. Once again, long range, so we're hitting on 4s. Not great. And strength 3 versus toughness 4, so we're hitting on 5s. We're wounding on 5s. Excuse me. There's 1 wound. Light armor for 6+ save. No. So one of these guys right here will take a wound. And finally, let's run over here, not to forget our scouts who are hiding out right here. Let's have all 5 of them take a shot over here on the so here we go. We are in short range. We're going to be hitting now on 3s. And that's looking pretty good, but we are going to be wounding on 6s because it's a tough thing. So there's 1 wound. We've got a 4+ save. No, so this baby will be dropped down 1 wound. Alright, so we got no close combat. That's the end of the Wood Elf turn 1. Let's run over here to the Ogres. Charges to declare. I don't think we have any charges at this point, but we do have a lot of moving to do. So we'll go ahead and do our remaining moves here and bring some of these guys up closer into combat. Alright, let's just force the issue here and go ahead and march these guys up their 12-inch march. And we will bring these other Ogres up along with them. And there you go, a beautiful Ogre line moving its way. Alright, let's have the Gnoblers move up their 8 inches, and that will bring them up into the forest here. We'll have to go ahead and roll to see what kind of forest we're looking at here. Alright, that's a Venom Thicket, so they will have poisonous attacks, but they will also need to roll for dangerous terrain when they go through the forest. Alright, let's run over here, and let's take this Saber Tusk. I'm going to try to send him up. Yeah, we're going to do a little redirecting here. So we will send him up right here, like so. There you go. And let's go ahead and check our lead belchers here. We want to get them within close range. So we'll go ahead and slide them up a few inches. There you go. Impossible to do that with one hand. So they are now within short range. Let's go send our hunter into the woods here. Let's go ahead and move this wood here for now. We'll send him up into the woods and put him within 12 inches of those guys for his spear. And let's send our giant crashing, let's send him around the woods. So just turning here in place, let's take him up 6 inches and turn him back to face forward. So there we go. If we had taken him through the woods, he would have had to take a fall test, and we don't want to deal with that right now. And our other Saber Tusk, let's take him, send him right over here, and we will put him in the path of those treekin. Finally, let's run over here to this guy. Let's turn him in place, and let's send him forward a little bit here so we can try to take out that tree man there. Let's send him up a few inches, like so. Cut off the flank there. There we go. So there's how our new battle line looks after the movement phase. Let's run over to the magic phase and roll out now for the Winds of Magic. There is 7. Do we have any channels? No channels for them. And any channels for the Wood Elves? No. So we have a 7 to a 5. Alright, first off, let's try Bone Crusher. We'll send this from our Mage here into that unit, which is 18 inches away. So this is a cast on an 8+. Let's go ahead and throw, we'll throw 3 dice at it. And we got the Wood Elves. They'll try to dispel with 3 dice. They need to beat an 11, and they do it. So that does not go. Alright, next we're going to go ahead and try Burning Head. We'll cast it from this guy over here into these treekin. We've got 4 dice left, and we need to show a 9 here. So we got it, no problem, with a 15, 16. The Wood Elves will try to dispel, and they almost got it with a 13. So what we do now is extend a line straight out from his base through here, and each one of these 2 models will suffer a strength 4 strength 4, toughness 5. Here we go. We need to show a 5. No. For the second one now, also a 5. No. Alright, that's the end of the magic phase. Let's go ahead and head over to the shooting phase. Let's start out here with these lead belchers. Alright, lead belchers. Let's have them take a shot over here at this unit of treekin. We've got 4 of them now, and we are D6 hits. So we've got a total of 9, 10, 12 shots. Excuse me, 13 shots. So here we go, 12 shots. We're going to be hitting now on 4s, and that looks okay. And wounding on 5s. You got strength 4 versus toughness 5. And there's only 2. That wasn't that great. No, they're coming back. They have a 5+ save, no, and 6+ ward. No, so 2 wounds. And one of those treekin dropped down to 1 wound. Alright, let's head back over to the other side now, and we will have our Ironblaster. Let's go ahead and try to take a shot at that tree man. Alright, there we have a nice line of sight here. Let's go ahead and put our marker 10 inches from the back of that guy. And let's see how much we overshoot. We overshoot 6 inches, bouncing by 2 more. So that will fall 2 inches short. So for 2, it is bounced there for the tree man and taking no damage. Let's run over here. I almost forgot that we do have our hunter, and he is able to launch a spear 12 inches. So let's throw that into those guys. All right, here we go. He is quick to fire, so he does not suffer the penalty for moving. He's going to be hitting on 3s. No. Well, that then brings us to the end of the shooting phase for the ogres. We've got no close combat here, so that will bring us to the end of Ogre turn 1. Let's move over to the Wood Elves turn 2. Alright, charges to declare. Let's see what we got here. Let's start over here on this side, and let's have this treeman declare a charge onto that Ironblaster, and the Ironblaster will hold. Second, let's not have any of those guys charge. That pesky Saber Tusk is in the way. But let's go over here and let's have some of these guys pull off some charges. Let's have these guys right here declare a charge onto the lead belchers. And the lead belchers will hold. And finally, let's go ahead and declare a charge here onto that saber tusk. And the saber tusk is actually going to offer himself. He will take it. All right, let's start with the treekin here. They need an 11 to get in there, so let's see if we can pull it off. There's a 6 plus their movement, so they just made it. And these guys here will automatically be in. Let's go ahead and spin them around like so. And maximize like so. And there's the final position on that combat. Alright, here we go. This guy usually causes terror, but because he causes fear, we don't have to take a terror test. But what we do need to roll here is a 7 to make that charge. No, he's going to fall ahead 2 inches. Alright, let's do some remaining moves here. First of all, let's take this Great Eagle. We're going to do some mess with these guys a little bit. Fly him right here in front of that Slaughter Master. And we're actually going to be a little wimpy here and pull back these guys a little bit here. So there we go, just sliding those two back a little bit. These guys, we moved them back, so they're still in the forest. They'll be shooting out of the forest. Alright, that's it for the movement phase. Let's go ahead and roll for the Winds of Magic. Here we go. Not great. A 4. Do we get any channels? There's 1 channel. Any channels for the Ogres? No channels for the Ogres, so we have a total of 5 to 3. Alright, we're not going to mess around at all. We're going to do Comet right now from this guy. We're going to send all 5 dice at it. Here we go. And look at that. Oh, wow. Irresistible Force miscast, but we can ignore it on a 2+ because of Thrones. Excellent. So that is going to go on. And that was the big version, so we are going to put our marker down right here. We'll put it right next to our little saber tusk there. Starting out now with 2 on the counter. So there we go. The Comet of Cassandora. Alright, end of the magic phase. Let's run over to shooting. We've got these 2 units here, and we've also got our small group of little scouts over there in the corner. Let's start down here with this unit shooting out of the forest. Alright, 20 shots out of the forest. We are long range and we moved. Let's go ahead and shoot right on here. So we're going to be hitting now on 5s. Not too bad at all. Excellent. Take away those 4s. Alright, and we have strength 3 versus toughness 4, so we're hitting on 5s. And not as good. There's a total of 3 hits, and we've got a 6+ save for our light armor, so no. We will take 2 off of this guy right here, which drops him down, and that leaves him at 1 more life there. Alright, let's go back here and do the same thing with this unit here. Let's have them fire over onto there. Same thing, 12s. They also moved. We're going to be hitting on 5s and 6s. So that gets rid of those. Wounding on 5s. And we've got 2 wounds there. And once more, a 6 up save. No, so we'll take that last wound off of that guy. And we'll drop him down to 2. And that'll be a panic test here on a 8 for our Slaughter Master. No BSB, so we'll see if that makes a difference here. They're fine. They stick and finally, let's run over here to our scouts. And our scouts have a nice line of sight on that Ironblaster. So let's go ahead and take 5 shots. We're going to be at long range. But I forgot last time, this is a large target, so we get a +1 to hit. So we'll actually, instead of normally we're hitting on 4s, 5s, we'll be back to 4s. So 5 shots on 4s. There is 1, and we're wounding on a 6. So, end of the shooting phase. Let's run over to close combat. We've got a couple of combats over here. Let's start here with this dog combat, and then we will move on next to this one with the lead belts. Alright, I have them set up in skirmish formation, but there will actually be 3 of these guys in contact. The initiative goes to the Dryads, 2 attacks each, 12 of them. We're going to be hitting on 4s. 7 right there, and we will be wounding now on 5s. Oh, get back here. And there are 2 wounds, so this guy is taken off. Alright, having wiped up that saber tusk, we are going to now just reform after that combat. And there's our reform now facing down the hunter. Alright, and let's move over here now. Let's have the treekin. They have the higher initiative against the lead belts. 18 attacks now, hitting on 3s. Pretty decent, and now we will be wounding on 4s. Strength 4 negates our armor, so we are going to lose 2 guys at 3 wounds each, bringing them down to 2. Coming back now with 6 attacks. And we need 4s. And then we need 4s to wound. And there is 2. We've got a 4+ scaly skin. There's 1 and a 6+ ward. So nothing happens there. Let's go ahead and do combat resolution. We got 2 kills on the lead belchers. We have a charge and we have a rank. And they did no wounds back. So we win by 4. Reduced down to a 3. And they're not going to get it. They're going to turn and run a total of 7 inches. And we will pursue. A total of 10. We catch them. And of course, having them get wiped out here so close to the giant, he needs to take a leadership. He's stubborn, but not immune to psychology. Oh no, he gets an 11, and there's no reroll. All right, so the giant's going to flee 2d6 away from this spot right here where that combat was. He's going to go a total of 4 inches. He's going to turn around and head 4 inches through the woods, taking him up into this point. So there goes our giant running through the woods, through these obstacles, which means he has to take a fallen test. If we roll a 1, he falls. He is fine. So he will be fleeing right there. So that brings us to the end of the combat phase and the end of the Wood Elf turn number 2. Let's head over to the Ogre's turn 2, charges to declare. All right, let's start here with this first charge. Let's go ahead and charge that eagle. And the eagle, I think, is going to try to flee, take off a total of 11 inches. Let's try to leadership of 8. And we got it. So let's redirect our charge now into the Tree Man. Tree Man will hold. All right, we're 11 away, so we need to roll a 5. And it'll be a 7. So we got it. No ogre charge, but we did make the charge. And that's how that will look now when we have everything maximized. Remaining moves, let's start over here with this guy. And we will bring him his full march right up to here. Mess around a bit with that Glade Guard's line of sight. Second, let's go ahead and march these 2 units, and we'll put them right outside of the average charge range of those Wood Elves, so 12 inches. We'll put them all right about here. And there are their final positions, dangerously close to the comet. Next, we'll go ahead and march our Gnoblers up 8 inches. Bring them right there. And our Hunter in the Woods here, we'll see if we can get him out. We'll move him 6 inches right here. Put him into the rear there of those treekin. And I actually forgot, we have compulsory moves here. Let's see if we can get that giant to stop running. And he does with a 3, so let's go ahead and just turn him towards those treekin as well. All right, Ogres wins the magic. Let's roll them out here. And there is a decent roll. No channels for them. Any channels for the Wood Elves? No. So we have a 7 to a 6. And of course, we need to roll for the comment here. On a 1 to 3, nothing happens. On a 4, 5, and 6, it comes down. All right, everyone within 2d6 inches is going to be hit by this comet. We've got a total of 10 inches. All right, we measured it out now, and these guys and these guys and these guys are going to be hit now. We go 2d6 plus the number on the comet, so 2, that's the number of hits. This unit is going to suffer a total of 7 hits. This one right here will take 9, and the Gnoblers will take a total of 12 hits, and those will be at strength 6. All right, first one here, we're going to be wounding on 2s, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds. So that will be enough to take away 2 guys, and we'll leave 1 guy with 1 additional wound. All right, that's going to mean a panic test on a leadership of 7. No, they didn't get it. They'll be fleeing how many inches now? 10 inches away from the comet, so 10 inches out in that direction. And there's their final spot there. Let's go ahead and roll these guys out. All right, we got 9 hits now. We're going to be hitting on, or wounding on 2s, I mean. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So that'll be enough to take off 3 of these guys and leave another guy here at 2. So they also need to take a test. On an 8, they didn't get it, and they will be fleeing as well. And a total of 11 inches directly away from this comet, so 11 inches out that direction. There's their final position there. And now let's go to our last one here. Let's do these Gnoblers. We've got 12 hits, once again, on 2s. So that'll be 8 guys there. Let's take these 4 off the back. And all but 1 from that rank there. These guys also need to take a panic test. Using the leadership here, 7. No. They are going to flee as well. How far are they going to go? A total of 5 inches directly away from the comet. And there's where they will end up there. That was a crazy, crazy, crazy comet. We can take that off the playing field now, but that basically just decimated that whole line of ogres there. But let's still go. We still have the Ogre magic phase, so let's go ahead and see if we can get anything cast. So let's have our Butcher here, or our Slaughtermaster, try to cast Bullgorger on his own unit. That would be an augment spell. Let's go ahead and throw 4 dice at it. We get it with a 10, 13, 14, 18. Let's go ahead and throw 4 at it as well. 10, 16, 20. So that is dispelled. With the remaining 4 dice, let's go ahead and try Toothcracker. So let's go ahead and throw 4 dice at that. We need an A+. So there it is with a 9, 10, 12, 16. They'll try to dispel with 2. They did not get it. So Toothcracker gives these guys now a +1 toughness in their combat. Lower attribute for the Great Maw. On a 1, the wizard casts a spell, suffers a strength 6. Right, on a 3. Yeah, there it is. So he is down now to 4 wounds. All right, end of the magic phase. Let's go on to shooting phase. Let's start out here with this Ironblaster. We can turn him like so, and he is actually within 36 inches of that unit of Glade Guard. And we can see here that he does indeed have a line of sight. All right, so here we go. We're going to go 10 inches from the corner of that unit, which will place us somewhere right around here. And let's see how we overshoot and misfire. Going on the misfire chart now, a 5. Lurch, moments before firing, the Rhinex pulling the Ironblaster gets spooked. Lurch is in its harness, buckling is snorting. Roll a scatter dice and turn the Ironblaster to face the direction rolled. The cannon may not shoot this turn. All right, here we go. So that's that direction. Let's turn this guy around like so. He may not fire this turn. All right, our only other shooting is over here on the Hunter. We're gonna have him take a shot into the tree cannon. On a 3. Yeah, wounding on a 4. That's cocked. Let's do that again. Wounding on a 4. Yes, and we have a 4-up save. Got it. And that's the end of the shooting phase. Let's run over here to the only combat we have over here in the square between the Iron Guts and the Tree Man. First thing off, the Tree Man causes terror. These guys cause fear, so we need to take a fear test. On an 8, they are fine. All right, first thing we're going to have our Slaughtermaster swing into the Tree Man. He's going to be hitting on 4s and wounding on 6s. Yes, there's a 6, but we have a 3+ save and a 6+ ward. No, so he will drop down to 4 wounds. The Iron Guts have great weapons, so the Tree Man will take the next attack. The Tree Man is going to take a tree whack onto the Slaughtermaster, which means the Slaughtermaster has to pass an initiative test or take D6 wounds without a save. So he needs to get a 1, 2, or 3. He passes it, no problem. Here's the moment of truth now. We've got 15 attacks coming back onto the Tree Man, and we're going to be hitting on 4s. Not superb. We only got 5 there, but we'll be wounding on 4s as well because of our great weapons. So only 2 armor reduced to a 6+. No, and we have a 6+ ward. We got 1, so we will be dropped now to 3 wounds. Tree Man loses the combat, but he is stubborn, so he will roll on his normal leadership of 9. He gets it, no problem. He sticks around. And with that combat, we come to the end of the Ogre turn. And now we move on to the Wood Elves turn number 3. Let's go ahead and see if we have any charges to declare. Alright, Wood Elves, it's time now to finish off with the Comet of Cassandora started. Let's declare some charges here, and let's start out with this unit. We will declare a charge onto that unit of fleeing Ogres. Ogres have to continue on their way, so they will go a total of 8 inches. There's their final position there, so let's go ahead and roll this out. That'll be a total of 10 inches, and that will actually bring us into the flank of that Saber Tusk. And that's how it looks now after we have clipped that Saber Tusk. Now we have several guys in combat with him. Next, let's go ahead and declare a charge from our Glade Guard here onto that unit of Ogres. And they will have to flee as well because they are fleeing already, and they're going to move 9 inches. And that will bring them right over here, partially into that woods. So let's go back here now and roll out our charge and see what we get. 7 inches will bring us straight ahead. So there we go. Not quite enough to get us into the contact with the Gnoblers, but bringing us out into the middle of the battlefield there. Next, let's go ahead and have a charge here with these guys. These Dryads onto the Gnoblers, and the Gnoblers will also need to flee a total of 11 inches. These guys will attempt to pursue, and they will go 8. And that will bring them approximately like. Compulsory moves, let's run over here, and let's see if we can rally our Eagle here. We do it on an 8, no problem. So let's turn our Eagle around and have him face back this direction towards those Ogres. Remaining moves, let's run over here to this side. We are going to have this group reform, and we'll just spin them around like this and have them face down that hunter. Actually, let's go like this. Face the hunter and the giant. And finally, let's run over here to our scout. For convenience sake, we didn't have them in their skirmish formation, but let's go ahead and put them back in their skirmish formation and move them 5 inches forward so they can get off at least a shot on that cannon. And there we go, there's their final position right there. And in the movement phase, let's run over here now to the magic phase and go ahead and channel a couple dice. We got 7. Do we have any additional dice? No. And we only have 1 channel now because we have a guy fleeing, so nothing there. So this will be a total of 7 to 4. Alright, magic phase. Let's go to our main wizard here, and let's try to cast Flesh to Stone from Augment Spell over here onto our Tree Man. And we need to get that on an 8+, so let's go ahead and throw 3 dice at it. And look at that, wow. Do we ignore the miscast on a 2? Yeah, we do. So that will go off automatically, giving a +4 toughness now to that tree man. Alright, well then let's head back here and go to our other wizard. That leaves us 4 dice here to try and do Comet of Cassandra again. Let's see if we want to do the small version. We'll do the small version this time. We got it 7, 8, 9. No, we didn't get it. So end of the magic phase. Let's go on to the shooting phase. We really only have 2 that can shoot. Everyone else is in combat. Let's start out with these guys, and we'll have them take some shots off onto these fleeing ogres. When we get down here and look now closely, we see that 9 of them have no cover in the way, and 3 of them have some hard cover. So here we go. The yellows are hitting on 4s and the reds on 5s. So none of the reds. We got 1, 2, 3 hits only, and we will be wounding now on 5s. And there's 1 wound, and that has a 6+ save. No, so this will be 1 wound left on that guy. And let's run over here now to our scouts over in this corner. Scouts taking 5 shots here on the Ironblaster. They're going to be hitting on 5s. Look at that, pretty good. Wounding on 6s. Whoops. There we go, nothing there. Alright, end of the shooting phase. Let's run over here. We've got 2 combats. Let's start out here with this combat on the Glade Guard against this Saber. Start with our Glade Lord here. He's got 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, and always strikes first, and wounding on 4s. Boom, that's enough to kill that Saber Tusk. Having won that combat now, we will just have them simply reform in this direction to face down potentially those guys. And with that, let's run over to our second combat here. We have the combat that's going on here between the Tree Men and the Iron guys. Alright, let's have our Slaughtermaster go 4 attacks on here. He needs 4s to hit, pretty good, and 6s to wound. Nothing there. And the Tree Man's going to come back now with initiative 2. He's going to opt for the Tree Whack again. So we have to take an initiative test for the Slaughtermaster, and he passes it again. And finally now we have all of our Iron Guts coming back, 15 attacks, hitting on 4s. Alright, we got 6 hits, but we have Flesh to Stone, so we will be wounding on 6s. There is only 1 wound, and we've got a 6+ armor and a 6+ ward. No, that will drop him down to 2. Once again, he is going to lose combat here, but he is stubborn, so we can take a leadership on 9, and he's fine. Alright, end of the combat phase. That brings us to the end of the Wood Elf turn, and let's move on to Ogre's turn 3. Alright, here we go. Charges to declare. Let's go ahead and declare a charge with this giant onto this unit, and they will hold. And let's go ahead and declare a charge with the hunter on that unit, and they will hold there as well. Alright, those are the only 2 charges we're going to declare. It's going to be impossible to miss these. So this guy will come down, crashing in. This guy will also come crashing in. Make sure we maximize, and there will be that combat. Alright, we got a bunch of compulsory moves here, so let's start out with these guys. Let's see if we can rally them. On a 6, yeah, they do. So let's rally them and face them back towards the Dryad. So there you go, that's how that one will look. Let's run over here to our other unit of ogres that is fleeing here, and let's see if we can rally them. No, they're going to continue on 6 more inches. There you go, there's their new position. And finally, let's go over here to these guys.
definitely not rallying. They're going to keep running 3
And
inches.
there's their final position there. Remaining moves, we've got none, so let's go ahead and go on to the magic phase. Winds of magic, here we go. Excellent there. We've got one guy fleeing, so we only have one more, and that does not count. Do we get 2 channels? Nothing there, so it'll be an 11 to a 6. So to begin with, let's go ahead with our Slaughter Master here, and we will cast Bullgorger on that unit to try and give them their augment. Let's throw 6 dice at it, and we got it with a super number. Look at that. First of all, let's roll to see if anything happens. No, nothing happens to our guy. And let's go ahead now and roll on the miscast table. Actually, the lower attribute will allow him to get a wound back, so he'll be back to full strength. But if we come over here now and look, when we put this over, we see that the small blast for the miscast is going to hit all of these 6 guys and the Slaughter Master takes a wound on a 2. Yeah, that'll bring him down to 4. Back to where he was before he got his lower attribute. And then we got 5 others on 2s, so that'll be 3 more. That'll be enough to get this guy off of here. And of course we have the tree man. He'll be on a 2 as well. So yes, he will be down to 1 wound. That is of course if he doesn't take his ward save. No, he doesn't. Of course d6 dice removed, so 2 dice. That means we have a total of 3 left. With our last 3, let's go ahead and see if we can cast Toothcracker on an A+. Let's throw 3 dice at it. And another miscast! My goodness, look at this. So what'll this be? This will be a 9. That'll put us back up to 5 wounds. There we go. And let's check out what the 9 So that means all the wizards will take a wound on a 3. So there is a 3 for our Slaughter Master, and there is a 3 for our Firebelly. So here. Firebelly is down to 3, and he is once again back down to 4. Those are some pretty expensive spells, but we got them both off. Shooting phase now. Let's go ahead and take this guy, and we will turn him around again, and we will have him put a shot right over here. Let's have it go right through our spell weaver. So we'll put it 10 inches from the back of the guy behind him. So that'll put that somewhere like right around there. And let's go see what we overshoot. We overshoot by 2. And it bounces a mere 4 inches. So once again, sticks in the mud. This cannon has been totally worthless this game. End of the shooting phase. Let's run over to the combats. The first one we have over here is this good old combat. Of course, I think I've been forgetting to roll for fear tests. So let's do that again. They're fine. All right, Slaughter Master, you have the chance to finish this off. You are going to be hitting on 4s. Oof, wounding on 6s. I really want to get this tree whack off, so we're going to go ahead and take the tree whack onto the Slaughter Master. He needs to roll an initiative test, and this one he fails. We take d6 wounds without any saves. So there's only 2 wounds, so he'll be dropped down to 2 wounds now. All right, Great Weapon Iron Guts. Here we go. You can do this on 4s. 7 hits. Here we go. We needed 6s. We just need 1 of these. There's 2 on the armor saves. There's 1 save and a 6 ward. He gets it! Alright, we caused 1 wound here, but we have a rank there, so it's a tie combat. Nothing happens here. Alright, let's run over this side and come to our next combat, which is right here, between the Treekin, the Giant, and the Hunter. Alright, we have all the same initiative, so let's go ahead and start with the Hunter. He's got 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s. Wow. Treekin, 6s, and 6s again. Wow, look at that. But we still take 1 wound, which will take that guy off of the back. For the Giant now, let's roll on the Giant attack chart, and we got a 1, and that will be the Yellen Ball. So what that means now is that we do not actually fight, but then the combat is now over, and the Giant side automatically wins the combat by 2. Now I would assume we have a charge, and we also got a wound, so we win the combat, in fact, by 4. Now this is huge because it will drop the Treekin here down to a leadership of 4, and they're actually going to miss it and take off running 8 inches, and we will pursue first with the Hunter. He gets him within 8 inches, and our Giant will go 5. And there's their final positions. That was an absolutely huge combat for the Ogres there. The Giant really stepped in and did a great job. Alright, that's the end of the Ogre turn. Now things are getting exciting here as we move over to turn 4 for the Wood Elves. So Wood Elves, charges to declare. Okay, here we go. Let's declare a charge here with these guys onto them, and they will have to flee. Fleeing a total of 12 inches. Next, we're going to declare a charge with this eagle onto them, a swooping charge, and they will also have to flee. So here we go. Moving a total of 12 inches as well. And there is where they will end up. Well, let's go here, and we'll have these guys declare a charge onto them, and they will hold. All right, let's go ahead and roll these out. This one, we've got our swooping charge, which will take us up to that die right there. And let's go with these guys. We need to roll a 2d6. Moving ahead 7 inches. There you go. That opens up that space now, and we can roll over here now for these guys. Charging here, we need to show an 8. No, so they'll fail ahead 3 inches. Remaining moves, let's go ahead and march these guys, bring them up here into combat. They've been feeling a little bit lonely. And there's their final position. Alright, magic phase, let's go over here, Winds of Magic, roll it out. Looking pretty good. Do we get any channels? No channels for us, only one because we've got a guy fleeing. No, so it will be a 7 to a 4. Alright, we got to do it one more time. We're going to have this guy right here cast the Comet. And we're going to go ahead and throw 6 dice at it. Here we go. And, oof, let's see here. An 8, 9, 12, 15, 21, 22. That's not enough. Well, he loses concentration, but we have one more die from the other guy to try Awakening of the Wood, and we get it with a 6. The Ogres will go ahead and throw 4 at it, and they dispel. End of the magic phase. Let's go ahead and take some shots. We got our 5 scouts over there. Let's take it onto the Ironblaster. Hitting on 4s. Oh, look at that. Wounding on 6s. That's what we need for a wound roll. And we've got 1 there, and we have a pretty powerful save. 4 plus. No, so this will drop down to 3 wounds. And finally, let's have this unit of Glade Guards shoot over also at the Ironblaster. They're going to be passing through hard cover here. And they are in long range, so normally hitting on 3s, and I'll be hitting on 5s. So here we go, hitting on 5s. And look at that, we got quite a few. There's another 5. And wounding on 6s. And, well, that's 1 wound. And we have a 5 plus save, so we get that. I believe it is a 4 plus save, but either way, he makes that save. Alright, end of the shooting phase. Let's go over here to the combat. The only combat we have going on right now is this same one here with the Tree Man. Alright, once again, Slaughtermaster onto the Tree Man. 5s and nothing at all. Alright, I'm determined to get this leader, so I'm not going to use this whack. I'm going to just put 5 attacks back into him, hitting on 3s and wounding on 4s. And there's just 1 wound, and I've been forgetting, I think, about his preservation talisman, so he's got that. Nothing happens there. Man, this is just a real slap fest back and forth between these guys. All right, Iron Guts, let's do it. We need to hit on 4s, and let's see here. Well, we got a few there. And wounding on 4s, and there's a couple more. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds, and we have a possibility of a 6 save. That was cocked. No, and a 6 ward. We may finally get this guy. We got 1, but 4 of them go through. So this guy now is finished off. Finally. Having won the combat now, these guys are going to go ahead and reform. And reforming like this to face down the Treekin. Alright, so that brings us to the end of the Wood Elf turn 4. Let's go over to the Ogres turn 4. They're starting to make a run for it now. Charges to declare. Let's go over here and let's have these guys charge in. Why not? And they will do a stand and shoot. Alright, usually 3s hitting on 4s. Alright, and here we go. Wounding on 5s. And we've got 1 wound, but we have a 6 plus save. We got it, so nothing goes through. Other charges to declare. Let's run over here to our wonderful Iron Guts, who just pulled off a nice combat there. They're going to go ahead and charge into the Treekin. Treekin will hold. And I think that's the only charges, so let's go ahead and roll these out, starting with this one. 12 and an Ogre charge. Look at that. There you go. That's how this one is going to look now with our Ogre charge. Now let's go over here now and roll out this one right here. Here we go. 7 inches. We're going to have to measure that one. Yeah, no problems there. That one gets in without any issues. So let's go ahead and move them right into base contact. And there's how that one will look. All right, let's do some compulsory moves. We got to try to rally these guys here.
No, they are going to keep going, a total of 8 inches. They're going to pass through that Ironblaster, but they don't affect other ogres because they're so tiny and puny. Let's move them 8 inches. There we are there, and let's run over now to this last one here. They need to rally, or otherwise they're off the board. No, they did not. Oh, but look at that. They only go 2 inches. That'll bring them right up to the edge.
And there you go. There's their final position right on the edge of the board.
All right, and let's do some remaining moves. Let's go ahead and move these guys back into combat.
Full march move for both.
And let's go ahead and now move to the Winds of Magic. Here we go. We've got a 9. Do we get a channel? No channel there. Any channels from the Wood Elves? No, so it'll be a total of 9 to 5. All right, once again, because this guy is in combat again, we're only going to be able to try to do some augment hex spells. Let's go ahead and do Bullgorger on ourselves, and we'll throw 5 at it this time. And oh, look at that! It goes off automatically, which means once again we get a wound back. But then we have to roll on the chart, and that is a 7. We'll take that one. Because that's a decent enough one. So strength 10 hit, I'm winning on 2s, that's 5. That's enough to take off one guy and to take 2 wounds from another one. And that's enough to cause 2 over here, so yes, 2 wounds to Treekin. That means one of them is down to a single. And of course also d6 from the pool. Yeah, that's the remaining dice that we had. We only had 4 left, so that'll bring our magic phase to an end. Once again, another expensive Bullgorger. Shooting phase, let's go ahead with our cannon here. Come on, you can do something this round. Let's go 8 inches once again, or 10 inches from the second row behind the Spellweaver there. Let's see if we can pick him off. And let's see how far we overshoot by 4, and we bounce. A total of 4, so that will be a direct hit 2 inches from the back, which will put us right on top of the head of the Spellweaver. All right, strength 10. We're going to be wounding on a 2, and we got it. A 4+ ward save for the preservation. Yes, and we get that, so those wounds are prevented. Otherwise, that would have been d6 wounds, and that would have killed our Spellweaver. So another unsuccessful attempt by the cannon. All right, that's it for the shooting phase. Let's go over to our combats. Let's start down here with this one. This combat right here. All right, here we go. We've got 11 of these Glade Guard plus our Spell Singer here. So we're going to be hitting on 3s. Wounding on 5s. That was pretty decent. And there is 3 wounds, and we've got 6+ save for the light armor. There's 1 save. So this guy will be gone, and we will also lose 1 wound here, putting him to 2. And of course, I forgot to roll for fear, but we got it, no problem. All right, let's bring 6 attacks back. We'll put them into the whole unit. We need 4s and 3s. So there's those 2 and 3s. And we got 1. And we have 2 stomps. So on a 3, so we get 1 more guy. So here's our combat resolution. The Ogres got 2 attacks. They charged. They had a banner. In contrast, there were 2 wounds done to the Ogres, and in addition, they had a banner as well. So the Wood Elves lose by 1. Here we go, rolling a 7 to stick around, and they're fine. And let's bring us now over here to this combat right here. Okay, Slaughtermaster striking in here now. Same initiative. We'll start with him. 4 attacks, hitting on 4s. And there's only 1, and getting a 5, no. All right, 2 Treekin now coming back. We'll put their 6 attacks into the Slaughtermaster. Here we go. They're going to be hitting on 4s. Excuse me, on, 4s. Wounding on 5s. There's 2. We've got a 4-up save, no problem. Remaining of the Iron Guts now coming in. All their attacks, we're hitting on 4s. Oof, that's not so good. There we go. And wounding on 5s, so also not superb, but we have 5s and 6s, so 5 armor save, no, and 6s, and no. So we're going to take 3 wounds. That means one of these guys is going to lose that wound. We're going to lose 2 more, so he will be gone, and we'll take 2 more off of one guy. Put that one right there. And for the Ogre charge now, D3, that will be 2 per model, so 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 of them coming in at strength 5. Here we go, we need 4s. And that looks pretty decent there. 2, 4, 5, and we're able to save that now on a, let's see. Right, it'll be on a 6s and 6s. So no and no, look at that. Wow, so we're going to take 2, 4, 5 wounds. So that means we go over here and we will have a whole guy come off. That's 3 wounds, 4 wounds, he'll come off. And this guy will be down to 2 wounds over here. Alright, let's do combat resolution now for the Ogres. We have a charge in the flank. We have a banner. And we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds total. Let's see if is there anything else there. No. And in response, that was really it. The treeman kind of got wiped out there. So we're going to have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 off their leadership. They need double ones to stick around. Here we go. Oh, look at that. They're sticking around. Unbelievable. Woo! The treekin are going to be sticking around. Look at that. And with that, we come to the conclusion of turn 4. Let's go over here now and run over to turn 5, where the Wood Elves have a chance to try and bring this thing to a conclusion. Charge to declare. Let's go ahead and declare a charge there, and these guys will take off the board. See you later. Next, let's go ahead and charge here into that combat, and they will have to hold. And that's it for the charges. Let's roll this one out. No, look at that. They're going to stumble ahead an inch. And this guy right here, he'll just go fly right up to the edge like so. Winds of Magic. Here we go. Any channels? No channels here, and we have the possibility for 1 channel here. No, so we have a 5 to a 4. Well, let's go ahead and try Flesh to Stone. We will cast it over here onto this unit. And let's go ahead and throw 2 dice at it. That's a 3, 7. No, we didn't get it. With the remaining 2 from this wizard who didn't lose concentration, let's go Common Cassandora, the small version, and that is a 12. We got it right on. And these guys are going to go ahead and throw 4 dice at it, and they got it no problem. So, end of the magic phase. The only thing we have now to do is to shoot, and this is the only unit that can do it. They're not in combat. Let's have them shoot over here at the Ironblaster. Alright, these guys all have a nice line of sight through that gap right there that we left. I realize now that I haven't been giving the benefit to my lord here. So on the red dice, he will be hitting right now on 1s, and everyone else will be hitting on 4s. And now we will be wounding on 6s. And there are 2 wounds, and these are armor piercing. I forgot about the Asrai bows, armor piercing, so 5 plus saves only, so he takes another wound. And of course, we can't forget about our 5 scouts here. They're also going to take some shots. And here we go, they're hitting on 4s, on 3s, and wounding on 6s, so nothing there. Combat, let's run over here now first to this one right here. Alright, Slaughtermaster, 4 attacks, here we go. And he's hitting on 4s. And he's wounding on a 6 because of Flesh to Stone, nothing. All right, Treekin, 6 attacks here, 4s and 5s. 2 wounds, 5s. Ooh, look at that, we got it. And Preservation got 1, so this guy is now dropped down to 2 wounds. It's getting close. And finally now, the remaining of the Iron Guts, here we go, on 4s. Pretty decent. And now wounding on 6s because of Flesh to Stone. Such a good spell. And we got a single one there. And we can save it. Not on a 3. And not a ward either. So that will drop this guy down to a single wound. Alright, combat resolution now. We got a wound each. But they've got a banner and they're charging into their side still. Their flank. So that means that they win by 3. That's going to drop their leadership down quite a bit to 7. They're not going to get it, and they are going to turn around and flee. How far? 7 inches, and they will pursue a total of 10. And that will bring them right here within 1 inch now of those dryads. And let's do our second combat right over here. Elf initiative now, 10 attacks, and we're going to be hitting on 3s. Not too bad. And wounding now on 5s. And that's okay. We have 4 wounds there, and we have to take a 4 6+ saves. So they don't get any of those saves. That means we take 2 wounds off this guy, and this guy is going to be dropped down to 2 wounds as well. Excuse me, down to 1 wound. Coming back now here, 4s and 3s. So there's 2 3s to wound. There is 1 wound. That's not going to be enough for the armor save. So here we have our combat resolution. We did 4 wounds here. And we have a banner, so that's 5 to the Wood Elves. They have a banner, so that's 4, and they did a wound, so that's 3. This guy is going to be dropped down to leadership now of 4. Can he pull it off? No, he cannot. He's going to turn and run a total of 10 inches. Do we want to pursue? Yeah, let's pursue. Let's see how far we go. 4 inches. And there's how everything will look now when they have made their flee and pursuit. Well, that brings us to the end of the combat phase and the end of Wood Elf turn 5. Let's move on to Ogre turn 5. Any charges to declare? First off, let's go ahead and declare a charge right here. We can make it for sure, but let's see if we get Ogre charge. No, we don't. So that'll be enough to come crashing in there. And there's how that combat will look. Compulsory moves. Let's run over here to these guys. See how they're doing. Unbelievable. They got it with a 3. They're actually going to be able to turn around now. Let's actually turn them a little bit like this. So we might actually be able to get them into those scouts eventually. Remaining moves. Let's go ahead and take this guy. We're going to bring him right up here. Turn him in that direction so he has a good line of sight there. Let's go ahead and march these guys up a little bit. Alright, let's slide this guy up here and we will keep him outside of the front arc. Same thing with this guy right here. Keep him outside of the front arc of those dryads, but still within charge range for next turn. Alright, end of the movement phase, magic phase. I don't really want to take the risk anymore of casting any spells. They're not going to really help us out that much in this combat anyway. Let's go ahead to the shooting phase, and let's go ahead and put a cannonball like we did. If we follow a line out from the barrel here, let's put a cannonball 10 inches from the back here that cuts right through our spell singer, and it will be overshot by 8 and it will bounce 6. So essentially that's going to go right through this line right here, and we'll be able to cut out 2 guys. Alright, wounding on a 2. And did we get a 4+ save? No, we don't for D6 wounds. 2 wounds, that'll be enough to kill that one. And the second guy, also on a 2. So we will lose our Spellweaver, and we will lose 1 more guy. So that was a pretty nice shot right there. Take 1 more guy off the back. Alright, that's it for shooting. Let's go over here to the only combat we have right here. Alright, let's start with, we're going to have all these guys have their 2 attacks and their 1 supporting attack, and we'll put them all into the unit, not into the our leader here. And we're going to need 3s to hit, and 5s now to wound. Here we go. And there's 1, 2, 3 wounds, and we have heavy armor, so that's a 5+ save. And they save 2 and take 1, so this guy will be taken out the back there. 1 wound. Slaughtermaster now coming back, 4 attacks. We're going to be hitting on 4s, nothing at all. And now we have the Iron Guts left over. Alright, here we go, hitting on 4s. And 2s now because of Great Weapons. Whoa, I'm losing dice everywhere. Let's pick that up. Great Weapons, wounding on 2s, so that is a total of 2, 4, 6, 8. That will be 4 guys off the back. Basically everything here except for 1 guy. Combat resolution now. We've got 4 kills for the Ogres. We've got a banner, and we had a charge. In contrast, they had 1 wound, and they have an extra rank, so they are going to lose by 4. They are still within the inspiring presence of their leader, which has a leadership of 10, so they're going to need to roll a 6 here. No, that's a 10. They are going to flee. Going a total of 6 inches, and the Ogres will pursue 11 inches. And there you have their final position after they chase down those Dryads. They are 1 inch away from that other Glade Guard right there. As we sit now at the bottom of game turn 5, I think it is safe to call the game for the Ogre Kingdoms. They have just far too many points left on the table. They have these guys, they have their Slaughtermaster, they have this Chariot Ironblaster over here. Far too many points compared to the measly numbers by the Wood Elves. They have some scouts here. They have a Great Eagle. Not that many points, but they lost that big block of Dryads just now. They lost their High Mage. Really all we have is a Lord and some Glade Guard, and these guys are about to get trampled over by these Ogres in their flank. So it looks like the Ogres have been able to pull out a victory, not a huge victory, but over 100 points, victory point victory. So congratulations, Ogres, on a well-played game. It was close right up to the end, but that last combat, I think, really made things turn. So there you go. Wood Elves versus the Ogres. Well, there you have it, folks. 2,000 points of the Wood Elves versus 2,000 points of the Ogre Kingdoms. Once again, I would like to apologize for any rules errors I have made. Thank you for bearing with me through this test game where I'm trying to learn these two brand new armies that hopefully I will be able to use in the future against challengers who come here to Lund. Now, speaking of that, if you would like to join us here in Lund at Playoteket and you would like to play a game of Mordheim or Warhammer Fantasy Battles, please go to greatarmygaming.com and click on the contact button. And there you can fill out the contact form. Let us know something about yourself, where you're coming from, what kind of army or armies you have, potential times and dates that you could play, and we will try to schedule you into our calendar to get you in here to Playoteket to fight a good game of Warhammer Fantasy Battles or Mordheim with Great Army Gaming. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us here today at Great Army Gaming, where Great can always play.